Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Shauki Alif Ibrahim. I am here to explain some of physically my CV, a simple explanation about my CV, and also a review. So first, I wanna say salawat dan salam to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and also do not forget to say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And so let's begin. In the first section, there's a title, Curriculum Vitae, and then on the right top section, there's my name. My name is Shauki Alif Ibrahim. Also, I add a picture so you could see detailedly how I was look like. And that's is a picture when I am still on ninth grade. It's on a graduation. And then below the picture, there's a section about me, about myself. Let's say I am a junior developer called Alif, usually called Alif. You could call me anything you want, maybe Shoki or Ibrahim, but usually I called Alif. And usually I develop a website as a beginner front-end developer. I'm not yet as a back-end, so my plan is going about to be the full stack, but in this time I'm just being a beginner front-end developer. Besides, I live in South Tangerang and still on 16 years old boy, but actually now I'm already 18. Also, I experienced to be a teacher, so I ever be a teacher, teaching about Android basics, using a Kotlin language and a little lesson about frontend. The place where I teach is actually still in Indonesia. I teach in Jakarta. It's called uh, 64 Jakarta Senior High School. That's if I'm not wrong. And then below about me, there's a section about my contacts, my WhatsApp, my GitHub, and my email. And then on the right section, here is the important thing about CV is the skills. So I'm gonna explain you one by one about my skills. First, I am already professional at HTML. You know how easy is HTML, right? And therefore I have learned about the basic structure, the attributes, element, heading, formatting text, link, image attribute, video attribute, table format, etc. I've already learned about that, and actually I've already learned the full of HTML tags, starting from the basics into the advancements. Also, below the HTML, I've also already advanced with CSS. Either it's from selector, property, value, media queries, animation, etc. I could make my own website responsive and maybe using frameworks on or other else for my HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I also ever made a native website that only using HTML, CSS, and JS only. No framework, no uh, libraries, literally only a native website. And then below CSS, I already learned about Bootstrap. Things that I've learned in Bootstrap, there's a MD Bootstrap UI kit, the installation and configuration with CDN typography, customize, sans, layouting, etc. Using the Bootstrap makes me easier to make website bigger and better, but also using the HTML, CSS, JS. Sometimes I use it natively, and sometimes I'm using Bootstrap as my uh, primary weapon for making website. And then below the Bootstrap, I've learned JavaScript also. And things that I've learned is getting variable, function, arrow functions, local storage, session storage data, fetching API, DOM manipulation, jQuery, event handler, AJAX manipulation, etc. So after I learned JavaScript, I know how do I make a DOM manipulation in my website, such as when you scroll and then they will animate, they will animate, or maybe using a jQuery uh, that I've learned. Using jQuery for me is actually more easier than using the native JavaScript. And also in Bootstrap, they also have the JavaScript script. Alright, below the JavaScript, I already learned Flutter also. But about Android or mobile development, I am not interested to. I'm interested with mobile development. That's why I write in the About Me section as a beginner front-end developer. So, in Flutter, I've learned about Dart, widgets, navigation, file-based JSON parsing, project structure, custom animation, paging, state management, Java RESTful API library and permission, Snackbar, SQLite, push notification, publishing releases. So on Flutter, I've already made one mobile application using Flutter, and for me it's actually more easier and more better than using the Kotlin. But maybe using Kotlin we could use Composer. Yeah, I mean that's the same thing, but I prefer the Flutter because it's the newest. Also, it's from Google, and yeah, multifunctional. So in Flutter, I've already made widgets in our application. I mean, widgets for the home screen, main screen, so you are able to click it and then making a navigation like button navigation bar or maybe a, a drawer or anything else. Also, I've learned about Firebase. That means I could use an API, connect it, and making like CRUD. Alright, the next is Kotlin. Almost the same like Flutter. I'm not interested into mobile, but that's is my first lesson about coding. So in Kotlin, I've already learned about XML, the OOP plugin, layout, media player, tabs, intent, glide, glide, coroutine, activity, custom field, recycler field, list view, web view, widget gradle, multiple screen, retrofit, MySQL, JSON navigation wrapper, plotting, and alert dialog. It's almost the same thing like Flutter. We've already learned about the OP, about the XML for the layouts, and then plugins for our Android game. So it's make it easier for making apps development, and then a custom view. So we could custom our view. I mean, we could custom the primary color, secondary color, etc. And then we further learn about recycler view that's about view that's always recycling every time we scroll. And then list view, the same like recycler view, but list view is usually when you have list views, but it's not been recycled. So the list that is out of your screen is still there. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. And also, I already learned about WebView. So you have website, and then you want to make it Android. You just need to make a WebView in Kotlin. Then you just made an application, but it based on website. And then widget also, Gradle, multiple screen, and etc. So those all about my skills. So I think the CV quite simple for me and maybe also for you because that's how CV works. So make it simple but quite detailed about ourselves. Usually when we are on an internship using our CV, but also not forget the other documents like motivation letter or any other else. And also, don't forget to tell about yourself, like in the section about me, like mine. Equal, it's important to take a picture of yours and then put it on your CV. Tell about you, your contact, so the company could visit you or maybe contact you right personally. And the most important thing is to put your skill because that's where people or companies will see. It's not important about your certificate. It is important, but not also. Usually, there's a lot of people that don't get certificates, but they are having a lot of skills. Yeah, there's a lot. And also don't forget about your names, your ability, and other things. Maybe you want to add experience that could helpful too. Alright, I think that's all for me. Uh, about my CV, my explanation. I hope you get it all. And yeah, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.